We're back in Kentucky for our annual week-long stay at Salt River Outfitters for the opening weekend of whitetail bow season.
This is my 5th straight year of traveling to Kentucky for what they call the Velvet Hunt over here at Salt River Outfitters. This year's particular hunt is coming on the heels of my hunt last year, where the last day, last minute, I shot a giant velvet buck, a deer that I've basically been dreaming about and hunting for 4 years. So I'm just excited to get up in an early season hunt and go hunting. This part of Kentucky where we're at, it's just a beautiful place. Every time I drive over here, I'm blown away with the backdrop and the scenic area. You've got great habitat and great terrain for whitetail deer and turkey, and it allows us to hunt big whitetails with good people in a place that is just relaxing to hunt.
This year we've got full Carico crew, Wade, Kevin, Michael, Jeff, Rusty's even around for a while. We got myself hunting, Wade's hunting, and then we also have Mr. Newbie, Scott Newbie from Yamaha. He's here with a bow in his hand. I think he might be a little nervous.
I'm excited just about the thought already, because this is something I've been working on for a really long time. It's been a long time coming. I've had a lot of opportunities even out in Texas and learned so much on misses I've had, clean misses. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but hopefully I can put all the pieces together, and this is the time to kind of bring that trophy home.
George's camp is one of legendary status in my opinion, because you've got a lot of the same guys that have hunted with him for years, and it's really a very subculture of deer hunting here that we all enjoy.
We've grown a lot in 13 years. You know, we started out with one farm, 1,200 acres. Now we're about 20,000 acres in 8 different counties. Growing our family, you know, that's what I tell everybody. This family reunion this week, I look all year to this one particular week because it's the most fun, you know, the whole season. What makes this week so special is it's our velvet week. You know, the deer pattern they're in their summer patterns, they're still worried about food, you know, that's all they're geared for right now is eating. But the best thing is the bachelor groups. There's just lots of bucks. They'll come in groups of 5, as many as 15 bucks. That's just an amazing hunt. You know, I love seeing people come in and kill the buck of a lifetime, or maybe kill their first buck. That's the best part of my job, I guess, is that just getting to see that look on people's face when they kill that deer.
Now, to find out more about Salt River Outfitters, visit worldwidetrophyadventures.com and follow their social media pages on Facebook and Instagram for the latest updates out of the lodge. Now, before we take to the field, let's see how our teams will be navigating the vast stretches of terrain here in Kentucky.
A side-by-side is such a cool tool to have access to. First off, it's far more comfortable to ride around in than my pickup truck. It doesn't jostle me, it doesn't beat me to death. It's quiet. Deer get very accustomed to it and used to it in those types of situations, and you can just haul so many things with it when you're heading out, whether you're looking at a 2-seater or a 4-seater.
Our entire line of side-by-sides and ATVs, that's available to you as a bow hunter. As long as you have enough room to put your bow, your pack, and if you're taking a camera guy and a camera, and then you still have room for a deer, or whatever it is you're trying to go after, they're all good.
All of our ATVs and side-by-sides, not only is every single side-by-side and our full-size ATVs proudly assembled in USA down in our factory in Georgia, which we just produced our 4 millionth unit not too long ago, which is a huge achievement for us. They are very durable and reliable. The RMAX 1000s we brought here on this hunt, for example, they're not just fresh off the showroom floor. We actually had these on the press event out at the Rubicon, and then even just last week out at Gateway Canyon in Colorado and Utah. So we've been putting these things through the test the last few months on all of our rides. So when it comes to talking to our consumers, I can be real with them that we really do put these things through the paces, or we have used them in all these scenarios and in all these environments, and we do everything and we can back it up.
Realistically, what someone can expect when they get a side-by-side from Yamaha is probably not having to buy another side-by-side for a long period of time. Features, benefits, performance, it's almost all gravy in the fact that you can count on that vehicle to start every time you get in it, take you to where you want to go, make sure that you get back. And it's that confidence and that comfort in knowing it's one less thing you have to worry about. And with Yamaha, that's really what you can count on. You can count on us to deliver the durability and reliability you need to get the job or the fun done, regardless of what you're trying to do.
To learn more about the full lineup of Yamaha side-by-side vehicles, visit YamahaOutdoors.com.
So the spot I'm going to is actually one of 2 right off the back of our camp, and I knew there are good bucks down in this spot. So 4 o'clock, we're in the RMAX, we're rolling down, and we park the furthest I think I've ever parked from a stand here in Kentucky. We're almost a half a mile because big bean field to our left, could be deer bedded down in it. We don't want to jump them, so we're going to park far away. We're going to take our time walking in, and we're gonna get up, we're gonna get quiet, and we're gonna wait.
We're up and we're settled. It's still early. We're at the edge of a field, kind of at the bottom. Realistically, I don't know where they're gonna come from. They may bed it up there. Hopefully not too much behind us where they catch our scent, but either side or out of this tree line will be good. I got shots from 15 to 40, so now we wait.
Before you know it, I hear something off to my left and I look down, there's this little doe. I'm just content to sit there and watch, still got some time, it's not prime time. We're comfortable, we're in the shade, all's well so far. And all of a sudden, here are 2 bucks. They don't even know we're there. That was the beauty of it. They were calm, never looked our way, but then all of a sudden the deer blows. These deer in front look up, almost like, what are you blowing at? They get calm again and I look at Jeff, okay, cool, don't worry about that. When all of a sudden I saw a deer right at the top of the tree line, big bodied deer, lost my breath, heart starts to beat. And now I really have to tell myself to calm down, be patient, and don't do anything stupid because I can barely breathe and my heart's about to come out of my chest.
Don't move.
Well, the big boy, he comes in and he settles facing me for a second, and then he starts to kind of just move around and feed and do what deer do, and try to figure out a time when I had his head down, him away, him comfortable, him broadside, right? Him in a good position without the other 2 deer in a spot where they could look at me. And just when I thought I had that right moment, I went to get drawn, and that deer's head pops up and he looks directly at me. Arrow flew, it hit that deer and it pummeled him. It knocked him over. He was down. And it looked like a good shot right there at the shoulder, but he's moving like he doesn't want to go, he wants to get up and leave. And so collectively, I don't even know if we said a word, but when I reached for my arrow, Jeff's like, yeah. So I grabbed a second arrow to put it in him, because if he's not going to run and die, whether I've got heart or lung, I'm gonna help him do it right there as fast as I possibly can.
There he goes. There he goes. I don't even know where to begin. It's opening day in Kentucky. We got light. We've been in the stand for 3.5, 4 hours. And I killed one of the biggest deer of my life. He's immense. He's a stud. He is a fighter, because I'm not exactly sure what happened. He may have ducked my string and I may have got a little higher, but he's right there. And I'm tagged out in Kentucky, and oh my goodness, dude. I can't even believe it. He's not the size of a small horse, he's the size of a medium-sized horse. Holy. Oh. Oh man. Oh. Oh. Look at this. He's starting to lose the velvet right here. I got some of it on my hands. Whoa, we got to get him preserved. What a stud. Look at all this character on him. Thank you, buddy. We scored ourselves a hoss of a velvet Kentucky buck. Opening day. Can't script it any better than this. As cliche as it sounds, this is what bow hunting dreams are made of. All right, it's time to get him out. We got to get, there are other deer in here. We got to get him out because there may be other hunters want to come back in here later this week even. So we're going to respect that, respect him, and then celebrate as well. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, buddy.
It's just an amazing feeling. It's why we come up here and do this. That and all the camp life and spending time with friends is exactly why I came here, what I hope for, and why I keep coming back.
Congratulations, Steve. What a phenomenal way to kick off opening weekend with this monster of a buck. It's day 2 here in Kentucky, and Wade is making his way back to the same honey hole he hunted yesterday. While he may not have tagged a deer on opening day, he still saw plenty of action in the field to get him pumped up for what today may bring.
We've had a pretty good rainstorm since about midnight last night. It finally quit about 3 o'clock. So 15 hours of on and off light rain. You know, the deer definitely want to get up on their feet this afternoon, I would think. We're high up in a hickory tree here, and we've got a little soybean ridge here. This is where I sat last night. We're just going to remain optimistic. We're going to have fun. The guys are cooking back at camp. Steve's, since he's already shot one, he's in charge of the cooking. So thank God that Angel's already pre-made everything, so we won't starve, we won't die.
As the afternoon goes on, it's very common when the shade kind of comes into the area, more and more deer filter in, and I'm watching what's going down and what's coming and everything, and sure enough, it became a parade, and it's like, no, yes, no, man, look at that one, he's a giant, and then all of a sudden, here comes a big 10-point into frame, and I was ready. I mean, I got busted. That's when deer was looking at me, and they jump, they flinch, and this deer kind of turns off this way, the big shooter does. And I got repositioned, and the deer just, I mean, the big buck just came back. But all around us, there's deer coming from every angle. I mean, literally from every angle.
You're good. We smoked him. Go down right there. Go down. Go down. Go down right there. Go down, buddy. Go down right there. What a buck. What a buck. I'm telling you right now, that'll shake you up. Boy, that was a giant bachelor group of bucks right there that come in. That's a big 10-point still in velvet.
You know, after I got that shot off, I was just beyond excited. I mean, total pass through, felt like I had made a perfect shot. Deer kicked and he was running off, and I keep like, he's gonna fall over dead right there. But my deer's still alive at this point. And the process of hunting that's hard starts going through all these emotions and changes, and the deer kind of disappears down into the timber and brush. And so we eased out, we got out of there right away.
The next day, Wade and the team rose early to start the difficult task of tracking. The crew spent several grueling hours searching for this massive buck with no luck. And as their hopes of finding Wade's buck began to dwindle and the gut-wrenching reality of potentially not finding this deer become more and more likely, George made the call to bring in a dog.
So as we dig deeper into our track, I mean, we're hours and hours and hours into this, and we're kind of dispersing to go back when one of the guys with the tracking dogs, I mean, he goes down this hill. I mean, all of a sudden he makes this yell, and I'm like, there is no way. But yes, there was a way. He had found that deer about 200 yards from where we kind of thought that he should be, but we hadn't found him, and he had died in the creek, and the dog's going nuts, and I'm going nuts. We don't even have a camera. We're filming it with our phone at this point because we have hiked and hiked and hiked, and we're down to the phone, and I just couldn't be more tickle pink to everything that went on. Another successful trip here at Salt River Outfitters, and George Cummins, and all the people in camp, all the people that I hunt with, and how everybody comes together to make it all in with a happy note. I'm always amazed at dogs and how they work, and the one thing about it is you learn something from every track. This one here really pretty amazing how far we went, what we went over, and how we found this deer, and we'll continue to expand on it. But right now we're gonna get him out, get him loaded up, put him in the Wolverine. I mean, this is a big old Kentucky stud still in velvet right here, and that hunt last night was pretty epic. The track and how it all wrapped up and the story behind it, I promise you we'll be telling this one for a while.
Hey, congratulations, Wade. We sure have seen some high-stakes tracks over the years, and like you said, we'll talk about this one for years to come. As we head out with Scott Newby, let's rewind to day one and see how the introduction of his bow hunting experience unfolded. For months leading up to this day, Scott has practiced shooting his bow at home and spent even more time dialing it in here at camp before the season officially kicked off. And now, his moment has finally arrived. Temps in the area are hovering in the high 70s, with chances for rain to move in during Scott's hunt, shifting conditions in his favor as the rain can provide scent cover from the deer. As Scott sits up high on the tree stand and takes in the peaceful surroundings, a small 10-point buck in velvet appears below him.
So I'm sitting there, just surprised, don't know where he came from, came out of nowhere. I was thinking, all right, this will be a good, decent buck here. And he just had something going on. He knew something was up, and he just kind of took off out in the soybeans. And then we just heard this big splash behind us in the Salt River, and it just had a few bucks that were just crossing over, coming in. And I could see the one that had some height to it. Couldn't really see anything beyond that. And then the big boy came in front of us. He just had huge mass to him, nice height. He has this just trash hanging off. It looks like a hook. That's what we could see. So I'm just gonna call him Hook. And that's our boy. So we're gonna head back to camp, jump in the RMX 1000 here. I'm gonna ask the guys how much these deer come back around, because I'm hoping we can go back out, see this guy again tomorrow, because if he's Hook, I'm Peter Pan, and we're gonna take this guy down. It's on now. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
For the next few days, Scott eagerly returned to the field with his sights set on having another encounter with Hook. Unfortunately, each time he went back to the stands, all of the deer were making less and less appearances. On this final day of the trip, Scott heads out to the honey hole, where Wade just had success with harvesting an impressive 10-point buck.
Lo and behold, there was absolutely nothing that came out in that last hunt. And it got a little rough, and just sitting there racking my brain the whole time, like, should we have gone to the bean field like we started out with? Should we have stayed here? But based upon the situation, kind of taking the full look, full scope and analysis and everything, I feel like it was the right decision. And that's just one thing that I learned hunting deer in velvet, is that you never know what they're gonna do. Deer in general, you just never know what they're gonna do, but it seems like even when they're in velvet, they're just all the more unpredictable. So for me not getting one, it's a bummer, but that's the way it is. Sometimes the best of the best get skunked. Sometimes the first guys coming in get skunked. So I cannot wait to come back next year. It gets me more excited to practice more, to shoot more, and just even to study deer more. It's just a way that I can grow as a hunter, and whenever I can do that, what better way to end a hunt?
Well, Hook may not have come back to visit us again, but that clearly never broke Scott's spirits. Here's his final thoughts on his experience at our Kentucky deer camp.
It was such a great experience in camp. One of the hardest things for me was breaking down camp, because there's just so many great memories with everyone. We're jostling with each other, poking at each other, but it's all good time, good laughs and everything, and just that camaraderie that everyone has and the fun time overall. For me, there's no better experience. But I think even if everyone left here empty-handed, we would all consider it a successful hunt and a great time overall. So if anyone can get out there, please bring people hunting and just have the same experience and share it with everyone too, because it just makes such great memories for everyone.
Take it from Scott. Whether you bring home the biggest buck of your life or sit out in the field all day long and come back empty-handed, there's nothing that tops getting outdoors, spending time with your friends, getting away from the hustle and bustle of city life, and appreciating everything that Mother Nature has to offer. This Kentucky trip was just what we needed, and we can't wait to come back next year and do it all over again.